Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video we're going to be reacting to "This Could Be a Weird Year for Nintendo" by Nintendo Life. Now, I like watching Nintendo Life. I like their videos. They have a lot of discussions, but a lot of reviews as well. I think in some ways I prefer them to Game Explain, but in other ways I kind of prefer Game Explain. I don't know, it's a toss-up, but I like both of these channels equally, and I wanted to react to this video because, well, the title caught my eye, and so I was kind of intrigued by it. I feel like they're referencing the fact that, they probably announced the Switch 2 or whatever at some point this year, like maybe even within like February or March. So yeah, I want to see what they discuss. So just like the past few reaction videos, I'm using a screen recorder. Now, for you guys, it's gonna sound fine, the volume, but for me, it's pretty low. I could hear it better than like my own video that I reacted to last time, where that was like really low. I had to use like my tablet to even hear the video, but this one I can hear it even though it is quite low. But yeah, you'll be able to hear the video just fine. This is just a me problem. So yeah. Also, I don't know if this recording will stop at like 20 minutes. With the screen recorder I was using before, I figured out my phone had it. It stopped at like 20 minutes. I don't know if this is the same way or if it will go beyond that. I guess we'll see, Again, either way, it shouldn't matter to you guys too much. I'm just throwing it out there in case you see like a sudden stop in like the video or something happens abruptly, Anyway, that's enough rambling. Let's just get right into the video.
I don't know how much you guys have, planned. I've mainly got one thing. It's quite pessimistic, but at the same time, I kind of hope it happens.
I wonder what Alex is talking about.
Hey everyone, Felix from Nintendo Life here, and today we are here to predict Nintendo's 2024. And I'm joined by the wonderful Alex and Sion.
Whoa!
We got the dreaming guys. Let's go.
We're fused together. We're done.
He's streamlined the
I live in the UK now.
Like, I love the humor of these guys.
That would be awesome to have you closer by.
The plus.
Anyway, this is looking to be quite a weird year for Nintendo, at least with the information we have right now. Currently, we only have one full-fledged new Nintendo game, which is Princess Peach Showtime, and everything else is remakes, remasters, another code, Mario vs. Donkey Kong. So we don't really know what's going on, and we're just here to predict what on earth is gonna happen. Will we see the Switch 2? What games could we perhaps encounter? Well, it's time to talk all about it. Who wants to go first?
Well, I've got something. It's not probably what some people want to be hearing, but I imagine it's what some people are fearing. My prediction for 2024 is very simple, very obvious. I don't think we're going to get a new console announcement. I think it's going to be another year of Switch. Genuinely. And it's not just because I said that in 2023 and it turned out to be right.
No.
Well, I mean, keep the ball rolling at this point, right?
Well, the thing is that Nintendo are doing so well with the Switch, and there's, I'm not saying it won't happen this year. I just don't think it will. They've got not a lot on the books just yet, but you could make the argument at the start of almost every year, at least, in terms of the Switch, certainly every more recent year. And so I think we're just going to be seeing more and more just slowly throughout the year. I mean, there's still Metroid Prime 4 is supposedly still in development. I don't know.
It is going to be launching on Switch no matter what. If the Switch 2 doesn't come out, I think it will launch on Switch no matter what.
In 2017, it is getting beyond parody at this point. It's a little bit Duke Nukem Forever right now.
So I don't know if it's because I don't want it to happen, but I genuinely believe that we are going to see new hardware this year. I have felt it, last year was like, oh yeah, it could happen. But this year, I feel certain that we are getting something new. And that is just, looking at the schedule. I know we'll get probably a Direct in February and we'll see some releases. But I think if a Direct happens, they're not going to release a lot of new stuff. And they're going to save it for, I don't know, sometime in summer or September for like the real showcase. And then they'll have the console ready for the Christmas season with Mario Kart 9, Zelda Ocarina of Time
That's
remake,
not happening.
and
That's not happening.
Metroid Prime 4. Wow.
Remake?
Maybe.
Oh my god.
Mario Kart 9 is not happening.
Sorry, my brain shut down. What did you say
Not
after
yet.
Ocarina of Time remake?
Metroid Prime 4.
Oh, yes, of course. Are those all launch titles, by the way? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, they're starting out strong. They have the resources for it, and
Okay,
I
I
can
need to
definitely
go
see
throw
that.
up. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna
In
happen.
a way, I know this sounds rough, but in a way, I kind of hope that they don't. I mean, I'm always up for new hardware, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, in a way, I think I've become so acclimatized to the Switch. The idea that it could be something different kind of slightly freaks me out from a professional point of view. It does excite me at the same time, but you know, the backbone of this channel has been the Switch, and so for something to change so
Even
radically,
though they started on
even
the
though it'd
Wii U
only,
days.
you know, more than likely just be for the better, you know, let's just say up and burnt with the Wii U, and I don't want to be burnt again.
It is interesting because there's so many, you know, creators who have built, you know, their channels around the Switch and its success. And
Heck,
if Nintendo
technically
were to do
me,
something
too.
completely different, where do we all stand? If it's not a success, that will affect a lot of things. But Sion, maybe you have some less pessimistic predictions?
So I do think.
Okay, so before they move on to the next predictions, I can see where Alex is coming from totally. If you've seen my channel since the beginning, you would know I originally thought the Switch 2 or Nintendo's next console, whatever, would not even come out this year. Maybe it would be announced like at the end of the year, or maybe the beginning of 2025, but it would come out like at sometime in 2025. That's what I thought the next console would come out. But even then, even considering when I did think that, I always have liked the idea of Nintendo making the Switch actually last 10 years. They have talked about this before in interviews, in like press media stuff. They talked about how they want the Switch to last 10 years. And I think to some extent it will last 10 years just because, you know, when the Switch 2 comes out, they will still be porting the Switch to some extent. They'll still support the console, whether it be third parties or some smaller first party releases. You know, it won't be completely gone. Just like the 3DS, how that was still alive somehow with the Switch came out. So I think it will still last like that. But if I had it my way, I would have totally been fine with Nintendo just having the Switch as their only console for 10 years, and I would be totally happy with that. I hate the rumors of the Switch 2, Switch Pro before that. I hate those rumors so much. And you know, as soon as the Switch 2 gets announced, they're going to be talking about the Switch 2 Pro or the Switch 3, whatever. And I just hate those rumors so much. I hate rumors in general, but that's part of the reason why I hate rumors at all, because of the Switch 2 and Switch Pro stuff. I'm tired of hearing about it. I don't think it's necessary. Nintendo was fine not following the curve. That's what they're good at. So, yeah. I could see where Alex is coming from. If I had it my way, there will be no Switch 2 till like 2027. But being likely and being honest here, I think Nintendo will announce their next console this year. And I think we will probably see it released this year. If not, then early 2025. But I feel like it's going to be this year. I honestly don't want that to happen because I'm a poor boy. I need money. So it's going to be a while for me to get that console probably. Unless I get it for Christmas. And even then, I'll probably still have to wait like a few months depending on when it releases. So, yeah. My God. But anyway, let's continue on with the video, Sally. We're only like 4 minutes in.
At this point, looking at data, this is the longest we've ever gone. Please, someone correct me in the comments below if I'm wrong, or you guys can. But I believe this is the longest we've ever gone without a new system. Usually, it's like in between like 5 and 6 years between like the Super Nintendo and the N64, the N64 and the
That is
GameCube,
true.
and so forth. And so this is it's very strange that we're in March, right? It'll be 8 years that the Switch has been out now, which I originally thought it was 7, so it's even crazier.
That is just dumb. That is so long.
Yeah.
No, it's 7. It'll be 7.
It'll be going into its 8th year.
Correct. Yep, that's what I mean.
That's what you meant. That's what you meant.
Yeah, it's always
Yep, that's what I
confusing.
meant.
Time
I
is
think
weird.
It would be
It's
smart.
confusing.
And for Nintendo release a Switch 2 or a Switch successor? What if it's just the Switch S? Oh my gosh, this year. But also maybe Alex is right. Maybe instead are we going to get a price drop? Because we still don't have, the Switch has been selling for the same exact price.
And it's still selling, by the way.
The OLED or the OLED is more expensive. And sure, you can get it on a deal, like if you shop around. And Nintendo just released the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Switch OLED, which I feel like this is one of the first times
Your Honor,
that they've
the Switch, at least in Denmark, has dropped in price since it originally got released.
Oh, has it really?
Yeah, I think it has in the UK as well. Only by like 20 quid or something.
It's not a lot, but I remember it being really
still not
pricey.
on
Not as pricey,
US.
but still pricey.
Yeah,
Like brand new, like retail MSRP.
Brand new retail.
Yeah. I mean, it may be that the RRP is the same, but everybody's selling it at a reduced price. I don't know, but the Switch definitely isn't the same price as it was.
Okay, well, for my American brain and American audience, but you're right though. I'm only living in one part of the world, so. But yeah, I could see like a widespread price drop happening just to kind of like combat that. But like you said earlier, Felix, as well, this is a weird year where right now, I mean, we haven't had a Nintendo Direct in a while, but right now the only titles that we know that are coming out this year are 5 of them. Was it 5 of them are remakes? I think, or no, 4 of them are basically remakes out of the 5.
Yeah, we have like Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, and then.
Well, yeah, I'm
Paper
hyped
Mario
for that
Thousand Year
one.
Door.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paper Mario, yeah.
Mario's
Yeah,
Donkey Kong.
so that's very end of the year. But on a positive note, I do want to say that if the Switch 2 happens this year, I think it's just going to be a safe and standard upgrade where it's better hardware. Maybe because of that better hardware, they can have some of those fun applications baked into the home menu, and maybe we'll get like revised Joy-Con that are compatible with the old Switch. But I think Nintendo is going to give us little reasons to want to buy a Switch 2, but the hardware itself will be the beefier, the reason to upgrade. One worry that I do have for the Switch 2 if it launches this year is that Nintendo will try to make things backwards compatible and forwards compatible, where like I know Breath of the Wild 3 isn't a thing right now, but let's say Breath of the Wild 3 comes out. Maybe someday Nintendo will try to make it compatible with Switch 1 and Switch 2, and I think that's where I freak out and worry, is that we're going to get a game that runs like garbage on the base Switch 1, and it runs well on Switch 2, but it doesn't run as well as it could if it were designed just for the Switch 2 instead.
I kind of would like
just
that,
release for the new
honestly, even though that's
console,
not the
'cause that would
best
be
way.
a giant incentive to actually upgrade, because you can't play the new games if you don't get the new console, and Nintendo hasn't
I know,
really...
but that install base and the software is where they make money.
True.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
That giant installed base would want to play a lot of the new games, especially if it's just, a more powerful version of what they already have, but now with the new Mario Kart, with the new, but I can also definitely see your
forgot
worry.
new Mario Kart, new Zelda Ocarina of Time remake. I forgot about that. You're right, guys. Sorry.
That's not happening at first, guys.
I think it's actually not as common. A lot of people sort of... I think we've seen it with things like the PS5, certainly, where they're just releasing everything for the PS4, with a few exceptions.
Only until now
they're
starting to
long last
release everything for the PS4.
But I don't think Nintendo would necessarily go down that route. They've done it a few times with things like Twilight Princess, Breath of the Wild, obviously, they've done it, but that's been at the end of a system's life with a game that was designed for the older system, and they basically just release a port for the new system, they're the exception rather than the rule. The only other instance I can think of is Sushi Striker, where there was a 3DS and a Switch version, and maybe a couple of other things. But that's a much smaller game. It's not harnessing the power of the Switch. I don't think that's too much of a concern for me. Nintendo tend to want to move on. They always pretend they don't want to, but they said that the Switch wasn't replacing the Wii U, and
they said that about the Switch. They also said that about the hacking DS, or like, it's gonna be a third pillar for the Game Boy Advance and then the Wii, I think, or was it the GameCube at the time? I don't know. They said it was a weird third pillar, but it was obviously, they said even in that same event that it was backwards compatible with the Game Boy Advance, which means it was the successor to the Game Boy Advance. So Nintendo was just weird. They just do this just in case if something happens to their current console and it flops hard. They didn't do this for the Wii U, but I'm sure if they would have kept supporting the Wii. If the Wii U immediately fell, like it did pretty decent at first, the Wii U. But yeah, so Nintendo just says that in case something happens where they have to go back and supporting their other consoles. It's kind of funny looking at it.
Look what happened, you know?
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did. They did. Just like
silly
just in case somehow it does worse.
Just in case. But one area, and this is I know I said I don't think new hardware's coming in 2024, and I stand by that. Although the more I talk about it, the more I think actually I would like new hardware. I'm a complicated man with dynamic emotions.
I know,
Life is
me too.
complicated.
But I do think one area where Nintendo may want to wet their beak is a sort of a dedicated hardware for VR. The Switch 2 will have a screen that will probably be... But when I say VR, I mean VR in the sense of like how the Game Boy was portable gaming, like stripped back,
like the Switch,
but cheap. Yeah, no, but like stripped back, cheap, affordable, reliable. So it's not going to be, you know, sort of, the Switch isn't going to have like a 4K screen on it or anything. Or it's going to have, like individual eyes or, whatever. It's going to be a simple system, a bit like the Switch, but maybe with,
like
a high resolution like that. Maybe not cardboard. But the Joy-Con already kind of lend themselves to the idea of VR. It would need some hardware revision in order to get like real tracking going on, but I don't think that's that impossible. You get Joy-Con 2 that work with VR, you know, and it just works out of the box. You put it on your head.
That
maybe
would be
it comes
cool.
with a cardboard
I have
headset,
talked about that on my channel too.
One,
that they could,
for an additional
put more
charge.
VR stuff
Well,
on
hey,
the
you've
Switch
got
2.
VR just out of the box.
Maybe a dual
And
screen.
it's simple, it's basic, but
the
that
VR
would be
is, I think, more
interesting.
like.
I don't know if they're going to go in that direction. I'm not predicting they will. I just think it's an interesting, something interesting to ponder.
On my list, actually, I did have the idea of like Nintendo implementing an IR sensor in the dock of the Switch 2, so that way we could have like pointer controls for shooters and for like stuff like Pikmin
in the dock
and
itself,
Metroid
that's
Prime
a brilliant
4.
idea.
Yeah, like so then it's
I talked about that too.
Accessible at all times, which for many people it's not, and
Well,
it has to
maybe
be
there's-
facing forward.
True. But it's still a fun idea. I had not thought of implementing it in that way.
It's a fun idea. I just think it's old technology that Nintendo potentially wants to move away from. Because then it also wouldn't work. It wouldn't work when you were handheld.
But what if the Switch itself has a sensor inside?
Yeah, I know.
How about that?
Oh yeah.
Think about that.
I hate the fact that it's called the sensor bar. It's two infrared LEDs. It's not a sensor bar. It doesn't sense anything. It just points light out, and the Wii remote goes.
I mean, is it? It could be the IR sensor bar.
It is. Anyway, it doesn't do any sensing. I'm angry.
I really like your idea with VR because it adds to that, the Switch. It can switch to different ways of playing, and that is one area that they could, I know a lot of people have talked about, but what if there's like new ways it can switch into? At least that's what I've been thinking, like, maybe that's what they're going to do. And VR seems like it would help a lot of people to give it a try, because VR is, in my opinion...
VR is incredibly niche.
Oh, yeah.
Like, some people think, no, it's nearly mainstream, or some people think it genuinely is mainstream. It's really not. It is so supremely niche. The
bigger, but it's still very niche.
The investment
have you seen the sales of the
essentially a
PSVR
handful of games
too?
overall? There's more than ever, don't get me wrong, but realistically, compared to any other platform, VR has basically no support. And I think that's kind of a shame. It's not my favorite thing. I like VR, but at the same time, it seems like an avenue that Nintendo could potentially go down.
Definitely. It's a way to mainstream VR a bit
But that
more,
could
because
also
people buy it
hinder
for free.
Nintendo being
But,
on
you
it.
can also play it in VR if you want to, and then that way, a lot of people will give it a go. So good idea.
And the thing is they don't have to commit to it either. If they don't, it's sort of, but it still does all the normal things a console does.
Just like that weird sensor on the right Joy-Con.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I don't know.
The IR sensor.
Yeah,
we're back with the infrared. Thing is, that actually is an infrared camera.
Yeah, but they didn't really use it in much. It was just
No,
there.
they really didn't.
Well, as far as games go,
Yeah, let's talk games.
I'm gonna kick this off because last year I made a prediction that Persona, and I'm very proud of this. I'm very happy that it happened because I love this series a lot and I'm gonna play it day one. But last year I made a prediction that Persona 3, the reason that Portable came out was because that they were actually working on a Persona 3 remake behind closed doors. That was kind of rumored. I don't think it was rumored at the point that I made that prediction though.
Yeah.
So
It's also
whatever,
not coming to
yay.
Switch for some
But so
stupid reason.
they did announce that Persona 3 Reload was happening, but unfortunately as of right now it's not coming to Switch. But if we do get a Switch successor later this year, I could see Persona 3 Reload being
But
a
it could
day
easily
one
run on
launch edition,
Switch, I
or like
think.
launch title. And maybe it comes with like a skin of the main character of Tokyo Mirage Sessions or something like that. I do think Persona 3 Reload will come to Switch eventually, and I think they just are waiting for something.
They're waiting
do
for
it.
something, I
too.
What
guess.
games are on your guys' brains?
So, I would really like to see Wind Waker and Twilight Princess on the Switch.
Finally.
I mean, it is damned overdue by now,
It is
isn't it?
so
Yeah, it's been like
overdue.
rumored for ages. I feel like everyone says,
Yeah.
that dual pack, and it would just be so nice to have. At least I would just love to play Wind Waker. Just let me play it because I don't have the Wii U. And I don't
have a
have
Wii
the
U,
GameCube.
and
have
I
literally
wanna still
not
play it on
those
Switch.
consoles, so let me play Wind Waker. Come on, man.
What's weird because like Nintendo for a long time it seemed like was releasing something Zelda related every year. Like they had Link's Awakening remake, they had Cadence of Hyrule, they had the Game and Watch, the mainline games, and then I think it was 2022 they went without releasing anything Zelda. So I would say like, oh yeah, 2024 will be the year, because they got to put something out this year, but they broke the curse.
Yeah, they
So,
broke it in
there's-
2022.
I think this year makes sense, but next year also makes sense. So, or maybe we'll get Ocarina of Time remake. I don't know. I'm gonna keep bringing that up.
The really irritating thing with predicting Nintendo's future, just any time, is they just do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating to make these videos at times.
But it's also what makes it fun because we can come with the most.
But I kind of
outlandish
like it because you
predictions,
never
and
expect
maybe, just
anything from
maybe, they'll
Nintendo.
become
That's
true.
I've got
kind
an
of crazy.
outlandish
Sometimes
one.
you
Although
get
it's not
something
that
you
outlandish,
weren't
actually. I
even
think there's
thinking you wanted, and you
there's
get it.
genuine legs in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is slightly more hopeful than anything, I think. A new Pokemon Legends game.
Please.
Oh, nice.
And I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna say Pokemon Legends Kyurem.
Whoa.
Is that how it's
okay.
pronounced? I've never actually said it out loud, I don't think. Basically, Pokemon, like Unova, obviously. And I think, sort of there's been a lot of sort of like nostalgia for Black and White recently. And I think, sort of obviously also the DLC in Scarlet and Violet was all based in Unova, or at least the second one was.
Yeah,
so
a little-
I think, sort of they're kind
From
of,
what I hear, I never
tickling
played
the
it.
flames, stoking the embers, disappointing the cat. That's not an expression. None of them are.
Oh yeah, Kieran was
I've
the
lost my
like.
train of
cat.
thought. Yeah.
Kieran was
Basically.
the fusion, almost like so to speak, of like Reshiram and Zekrom, right? Because I never
Something
played
like
Black and
that,
White
yeah.
too.
It was like in Black and White, it's like a broken form or something. I never actually completed Black and White because that's when I fell off Pokemon for a while. But I do have Pokemon White, I think, or is it Black? I don't know. I've never completed it though. I remember buying it from eBay once, and it was a fake one, and I complained at them. And then
Yeah,
they
there's
gave me
like
my money
fake
back.
Pokemon.
I would like to see that
cartridges out
happen. Like,
out
where
there.
do you think Legends? It'd be cool if Legends came out and it like replaced the main line, like just for a year, and gave them.
God, that would be
Just
cool.
replace the main.
Well, of course. I mean, we would love that, but I could see that like being their toy line, maybe what they base some things on the TV show off of, the TCG.
Yeah,
And
why
I mean,
can't
the
Legends
TCG
replace
already
the
got
main
based
game
enough.
for
Like
at
it had
least
a
a
few
year?
sets that were based on Legends, so
Yeah.
like maybe they just full send it. I would love to see that. That'd be really nice.
And also,
The thing is,
Pokemon Legends Arceus is almost 2 years, or like in a couple of like weeks.
it's a couple of days or something,
Couple-
I think, isn't it?
Is it
was
came out
on
on the
like
20th, right?
28th, I think.
Something like that, yeah. Either way, it's...
Yeah, I
miss
think it was
that
the
game,
20th.
Sort of if...
Yeah.
And I've said this before, but, you play Scarlet and Violet, go back and play Legends, and you can see... The thing is that it's still... Don't get me wrong, Legends isn't a perfect game, but... It's just actually got some genuinely interesting ideas. I'm not going to go into
Legends,
it right now, but
it feels like
mechanically,
it has
it's
exciting
evolved the genre,
Something special in it.
Yeah.
Like,
It's, anyway.
Even if it is not
what about
perfect,
2024,
Legends
guys?
felt
we going to finally get Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival 2?
I would just love to see something
God.
Animal Crossing. Cause,
Like it put, like it had heart, basically.
I just want that feeling again.
It's been a while
Oh no.
since we had an Animal Crossing game.
My favorite song.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with that. Why do we not have an Animal Crossing theme park yet? Why is Donkey Kong getting one? I know why Donkey
Why is Donkey Kong not
one.
getting any new games? Come on, man.
Oh yeah, that's been rumored
Yeah,
as well, hasn't
Nintendo
it?
makes
New
weird
Donkey Kong
decisions,
games and the like.
Yeah.
Whether-
I remember
don't know
doing
whether
it.
that has
yeah,
legs, personally.
It
it's
has
so
4.
difficult to know. Oh, Donkey Kong has arms.
Okay, guys, we are back. I had to stop there because, well, I thought it stopped recording, but it didn't. It kept going. The recording, it was like 26 minutes or something, but for some reason it looked like it paused. So I was just checking to make sure, everything was saved up to this point, and yeah, it was all good. So there was nothing to worry about. So yay me. But anyway, let's continue on with the
Has
video.
arms. Not legs.
Diddy Kong's there, so they've got.
Diddy Kong's got arms as well.
Yeah, but together they have 4.
Thank you, Felix. Thank you.
Their legs are more like arms than our legs are like arms. So really, they've got 4 arms.
Donkey
4
Kong in
arms.
arms too?
Hell yeah.
Okay, for some reason
Playable
the volume
character?
sounds
Awesome.
louder.
It's only Donkey
Why?
Kong. Arms, Donkey
It's
Kong
just
edition.
Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong Jungle Reach.
What about ew? Put it away. What about Metroid Prime 2 Echoes HD, Alex?
They zoomed
Felix?
in the
That's
trailer.
really big.
Yeah.
That would be
Of,
nice.
that
The
character.
first one was
Sha-
very nice. I just want to play the other 2 now. In
Of
nice.
arms.
Shadow
very
Drop?
Stick that on
Once
the,
again?
on the blackboard. Shadow drop it now. Do it, Nintendo.
Hey
The
guys,
one thing that
have you
I-
seen Twitter? They just shadow dropped Metroid. Whoa!
Wait, what?
I'm kidding. I was just pretending
God,
they shadow-
Felix. God, my heart.
I saw right through that, and I was with the best will in the world. I'm amazed Xeon fell for it.
I'm so happy it did.
I just woke up.
Fair enough. I'll give you that.
I haven't been on Twitter yet today.
An outlandish thing that probably won't happen, but I'll say it again and again. Mario Party Superstars DLC.
It's not
Come
happening.
on, Nintendo. I need more maps.
It's
Why
just gonna
do
be-
a new
This is gonna be
game
a
at this
Superstar
point?
Because they already
Yeah,
did
I
that
agree.
with Mario Party Superstar. They had Super Mario Party and didn't really do anything.
There are 4 Mario Party games on GameCube. Felix, I respect your want for DLC, but Nintendo's just gonna they're gonna be like, yeah, we can make another one. And the developer's gonna be like, really? Do we have to? And they're gonna be like, yep, we can make another one. We already signed you up. You already signed the contract. But I could see Superstars 2. Would you be mad if it was Superstars 2?
There's not enough maps in Superstars. Otherwise, I'll love it. I absolutely
But what
love
if it's
it.
twice the maps?
I mean,
it's 2.
I love Superstars, so I would love to see it, but it's still like, it could just be DLC with new maps, and
I
that
agree.
would
So
you-
work. But yeah.
So you
At
you
this
just
point,
want,
it's
you
gonna
want
be
more.
a
Like
I
you just want more.
See-
Yes,
sequel.
and
I
I'll
see,
be
okay.
screaming the day it happens.
Good. We better get that on camera. So this is a random one. But I've had this. So I have a list, like a Nintendo Direct's like predictions list, where I have like things written down. And this one's been sitting there for a long time. And so I don't think this is the year, but I would like it. I would like it to be this year. You know, for Mega Man, we have Mega Man 11, and then we have a bunch of like collections on
I
Nintendo
love
Switch where you can
that.
play like Mega Man X and Mega Man Zero, and now Mega Man Battle Network.
Hope I get that collection
Capcom
too.
has almost dried up the well entirely on that front. They've released almost everything.
Almost.
Except for a bunch of 3D Mega Man games. So much like how I predicted in the past a Capcom like 3D fighting edition with Power Stone and rival schools and stuff, I want to see like Mega Man Legends 1 and 2 and the demo that never came out for Mega Man Legends 3 from 3DS as like a bonus. I want that to get thrown in.
Mega Man Legends Arceus.
No, not that. That's not the collaboration I want. No. But there's a lot of weird stuff. There's some PSP games. There's a GameCube RPG. There's a GameCube like Battle Network game that plays like the original Mega Man or like the baseline Mega Man games. So there's a lot of fun I think they could have with like a Mega Man Legends collections or like a Mega Man 3D collection. So if not this year, next year at the very least. But
I would love that.
2024 is where I'm slotting it right now.
I don't know if it's just because I want to talk about it. Baldur's Gate on Switch.
Oh,
That's never gonna happen, Alex.
I mean, you say that 1 and 2 are already on Switch, you know.
Oh my God.
True, but
They're
Baldur's
not
Gate-
that much. They're not that much graphically worse, you know. It's yes.
I mean, I
It's,
would
you
love
know-
to. I would love to talk about Baldur's Gate 3, because yeah, great.
Well, maybe
great experience.
I haven't played it at all, and I know you guys have over the holiday. So why do you want it on Switch? Why should I care about this game? So what if it won a couple Game of the Year awards?
A couple? A couple?
Yeah.
I think it won every game.
It won awards it wasn't even nominated for. It's just, it's such a beautifully realized game with, it's basically what I think a lot of people have wanted RPGs to be for the past 20 years, and it realizes it.
It feels like there's nothing else like it. To me, it's like when I played Breath of the Wild for the first time. It was just something outstanding, magical. It
I
was
think
like,
it's possible
wow,
it will
this
come
is
for
unlike
Switch too,
anything I've
but-
ever played before. And Baldur's Gate is exactly that. It is insane, the attention to detail in the choices you can make. It really feels like you can make every choice, and the story is like planned out for you. You ask, what is it? Why should you care so much about the game? I was exactly like that before I played it. I didn't quite understand it. I had tried it out a bit, but I'm playing it with a friend, and that has just been a blast because we're like both experiencing this. We're making choices on our own, and I think you just need to try it out, and you maybe play it with someone, because then you share the experience together. And one of the best experiences I had was after the holiday period. Me and Alex talked about the game, and almost every single thing we talked about we had done differently, which was just insane.
Yeah, let's not go into any specifics because of, spoilers and things like that.
No, but it's just to the extent that was so fun to talk with you about it.
That's cool.
And there were so many instances where it's like, oh, I did this, and you went, what? That happened? Where? And the same thing happened in reverse as well. And I still don't, you mentioned something. I have looked high and low. I don't know whether I've gone too far in the game, and it's like locked me out, but I can't find it, and I'm angry.
Well, I guess there's just, if you do certain stuff, then you can't do, or maybe if you pass through a certain section, I don't know. The game is
I think there is a degree of that, yeah. But I don't think, certainly for a successor, Baldur's Gate 3 makes tremendous sense and would probably make far more sense than the current Switch. But, I just, it randomly dropped on Xbox and they forgot to announce it, that was funny.
That is true.
Well, I think there has to be conversations.
But at the same time, the current Switch, probably not. That's me just sort of trying to shoehorn it into conversation.
I'm glad we got to talk about it. Yeah, it's coming to the next Switch. That way, we were good to talk about it in this chat. That's our prediction.
I do like that as an early, early Switch 2 title. If not like day one launch, like Persona 3 Reload. Maybe, it also becomes like a first quarter or something like that. Because you'd think at this point Nintendo's having talks with Larian, or Larian's knocking on their door at least.
I was thinking about something else, and I thought you just said it was having talks with Larry.
Wait, I thought.
Oh yeah, Larry. Everybody knows Larry, right? Larry is the best guy in the industry. Everybody. He'll wake up you can call him at 3 a.m. and he will answer. He's just that kind of guy.
He might also kill someone with the thinker.
He's just that kind of guy. I only have one other game prediction.
Whoa there, Sunshine. Hold that thought. Because it's time for the Quickfire round.
Oh my god. Yes.
I've decided to throw it in at the last moment. So, I'm going to ask you for one prediction from each of you. So, get thinking, and it's going to be quick. So, I'm just going to say a name. You're going to have to say it. Felix.
Guitar Hero.
Felix, you guessed that last year.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. I checked.
We'll get a new Guitar Hero. What? I literally, I thought, let me think of something I've never thought, and I looked at my guitar and I was like, hell yeah, Guitar Hero. That is insane.
I mean, that was in the Quickfire round last year.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah, for real, Ryuji. I went back and I skimmed over it with captions last night, so my girlfriend wouldn't hear.
Base Hero. There we
What?
have.
I missed that. I misheard that.
I like the bass. Mega Man and Bass Hero
I
collection?
thought you said Space Hero.
Oh,
that's a different game.
Starfield on Switch?
Oh my god.
Xeon.
That was not my prediction. This year marks the 25th anniversary of Mother/Earthbound in Japan, and So they did say that they have some things in the works, nothing game related. They didn't specify, but this year I would like to see finally there's a trilogy that releases. It's all claymation. It's from Grezzo.
That would
No
be really
voice
cool.
acting, but it's in collaboration with the Mother 3 translation team. So
And I do
that'll
like
be
this
finally
concept
we will
art
have a
or
way to play
concept
Mother
trailer
3.
they did.
Alex,
Eternal Darkness. If they can get
Oh!
if they can get GoldenEye on Switch, I'm sure they can get Eternal Darkness. And just as a bonus, I'm gonna do another one.
there was like a sequel in the works, but then it got canceled.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me in the slightest. But no, I have a bonus, and it's been rumored, and loads of people have been talking about it everywhere. Nintendo Selects are going to come back.
That would
and
be
probably
cool.
under a different
Ooh.
name.
Nice.
Because
Nice.
a load
Different
of
names?
SKUs have just like disappeared for like big
SKUs
games,
is
including
huge.
like
That's right, yeah.
yeah,
Pikmin
yeah.
3
And so I think
Deluxe?
it's I've seen some people say, "Oh, are they going to release Nintendo Switch 2 versions?" And it's like, nah, mate. There's no point. But, you know,
I mean, I
Nintendo
think
Selects,
that's
you know, release
possible,
it. Can you
but-
imagine £20 versions of things like Xenoblade Chronicles 2?
That would be cool.
I actually can't imagine it. No.
That would be so
Think
sick, man.
harder. Since I did a second
I
one,
hope they bring back
Felix, another
Nintendo
one.
Selects.
No,
I
Xeon,
love
in fact,
Nintendo
Xeon.
Selects. I got a few of them, and they
you
were
wouldn't be
amazing. Like
ready.
budget
Wii U
size
backwards
games.
compatibility
Like,
for some games where you can
Especially
connect
for
two
a
switches
poor guy
and you
like
can
me.
play your favorite games with Wii U soft features, and Wind Waker is going to be the title that comes out that shows it off. I just
Wow.
looked down and saw my Wii U on the floor, so that's how that happened.
Where it belongs. No. Felix.
Okay, so I said before that I wanted to talk about something that was not a game, but I'd save it for later. So I think this is a brilliant way to cap it off. I
Damn it.
want a controller.
They played me like a damn fiddle.
I want a controller akin to the PlayStation 5 controller, because there's so many games that I just, you know, I want to play them on PlayStation 5 just because the controller is so awesome.
It is good.
I was playing God of
Really?
War, Ragnarok here the
I also
other day,
love
and you can
trophies
just feel
in
everything
PS5,
Kratos
and I
does
would
when he
love that
sits
on
down, when he
Switch.
pokes in the fire, you can feel it in the controller, and it just it's this whole other kind of immersion, because you can feel everything the game, you know, is doing, and it's the kind of thing that you need to try it out before you really understand how cool, or maybe I just think it's way cooler than it has any right
No,
to be.
it's
but
really cool.
if Nintendo could do something more like,
And,
you know, we have HD
you know,
Rumble,
Sony
but
did still,
have
you know,
something
like the
even more
HD
impressive, and
Rumble
have some
from
analog
HD
triggers.
Rumble
the Pro
2,
controller.
HD Rumble HD.
4K Rumble.
Yeah, there we go. I love it. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant! And you know, have some motors in the triggers, so you can do cool stuff with that when you spit out vines in Mario Wonder
Whoa,
and
okay.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to the idea, but other developers would have to support it as well, because from what I understand, I don't have a PS5, but
What?
there aren't that many games that aren't, you know, sort of at least partly Sony developed that really utilize the DualSense's capabilities.
True, but the cool thing about Nintendo is
Can't
that they
believe
make
Alex
a lot
doesn't
of
have
their
a
games
PS5.
themselves.
I thought he
so a lot of
did.
games would use the controller's capabilities.
Maybe he rented
That's
a
very
PS4.
true.
Hell yeah!
I do like the
objected.
idea.
Can I request it has a better battery life though?
I actually
Ooh, good
feel it
point.
has a really good battery life, my Pro controller, but that might just be me.
No,
for-
I mean the DualSense. Doesn't it
Oh.
last like 8 hours?
Yeah, the DualSense isn't that great. So if they can get
Yeah.
the same battery life of the Pro controller, but just make it even more futuristic, you know, take inspiration from PlayStation, that would be nice.
Hall effect sticks.
Yes.
I mean, I do really hope that the Switch 2 is just Switch, but new cool things. I know I said that before, but this also
Yeah.
just like this adds on top of that kind of idea, and I like it. I like it. Just give us more fun ways to spend our money without destroying the experience, without making it worse.
Yeah. And without making this video worse, we should probably wrap it up so we don't ramble all too much.
Yay!
Thank you guys so much for helping me predict. I know we went on tangents, but that's the awesome part about these chats, that we get to talk about
Which I like too
everything
about
that just
them.
comes into our minds. And I had a blast. I hope you guys did as well. And now you know how Nintendo's 2024 will look. Everyone watching, this is the definitive list as always, and this is what's going to happen. You heard it here first.
Yeah, it's,
No.
it totally.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you check out our website, nintendolife.com, for all sorts of Nintendo-related content. And yeah, Felix, Alex, and Sion from Nintendo Life, out.
No, is it going to be something at
Mother
the end?
four.
Sometimes there is some stuff at the end. I think there was something said. What was it?
Mother 4.
Mother 4. That was what was said. I didn't hear that at first. Okay, anyway, let's look at the comments real quick. But yeah, I think this was a good video. Really, I agree with many of their things, actually. Like, I definitely think Baldur's Gate 3 will come for the Switch 2. Persona 3 Reload, I think, could easily run on Switch. I really think so. But maybe they're waiting for Switch 2 for some dumb reason. And I totally see Nintendo Selects coming back as well. Now, I've seen that, again, the possibility that there will be like Switch 2 versions of those games. But I think Nintendo Selects makes a little bit more sense in my opinion. I hope so, because again, I'm poor and I don't want to pay like $70 for these games again. So yeah. But anyway, let's look at the comments. I think it will be a fairly weak year throughout, but might have a stellar holiday season if there's a Switch 2 coming and has solid launch titles. We'd love to see more discussions like this on the channel. They're so relaxing, I agree. I want a Zelda 3D All-Stars HD remake with Ocarina, Majora, and Twilight, all in widescreen. Download will make me very happy. Oh, you know Ocarina of Time won't be in widescreen. They didn't even do that for hecking Mario 64. It'll be both messed up and a little funny if it had a time limit like the Mario 3D All-Stars did. I'd love for them to release an OLED light with maybe an extra half-inch on the screen. That would tie me over nicely. That would be cool. But again, I have issues with the Switch Lite. I wish it could be docked. I also, even though I love the form factor, if it gets Joy-Con drift and you have to send the whole system in, I've dealt with that before. So there's issues with it, but that would be kind of cool. My thought on the release of the Switch 2 is that it will announce this fall with a release date in March of 2025. And in the meantime, I expect this year to give us Metroid Prime 2 and 3 Remastered. See Metroid Prime 2 in February, March, followed by Metroid 3 in October, November. I'm basing this on the assumption that they're not going to push Metroid 4 beyond 2025. It may even be a Switch 2 launch title, yeah. See what will be released on NSO. Hoping we'll get Smash 64, DK64, Banjo-Tooie, and Diddy Kong Racing. Yeah, I would love to see all those games as well. Based on my backlog, I'm fine with waiting another year on a new console. Yeah, me too. Especially since I have a personal rule that I don't buy new systems in their first year release. Every time I buy a console in the first year, I've regretted it. That's a great rule of thumb. Yeah, gameplay standpoint. But yeah, I hate the rumors as well, man. Another Star Fox that actually functions. The way you interact. It's going to be a cross-gen title, mainly because you usually stick to the promise of a game's dev cycle. They did say it was on Switch. Yeah, they promised it was coming on Switch. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. I really like these reaction videos. They're simple, but I like doing them because it gives me a chance to discuss things along with just watching the videos. I think they're really cool because of that. I don't do them too often, but I like doing them every once in a while. Still don't know how I feel about this, like, the screen recording way, because again, the volume was really low for most of this video, and I had to put my ear close to the phone, which was a problem with in DGR's video, where I want to look at what's happening. Here, I mean, there's footage in the background, but they're mostly just talking, which I'm fine with, just having be kind of like a podcast. But with DGR, I actually want to watch the screen, so that was an issue. So I don't know, we'll see. I don't know if I'll continue doing it like this, or if I'll do a mix of this way and then the other way, where I just go to the TV and then use YouTube to there. I don't know, we'll see, but that's gonna be it for me, guys. Thank you, Damian Grace, Sam, Facio, Nathan, School Lesser, Ferocious Fiend, Blue Wizard, Gamer NXR, and Nillis Edom for either becoming Patreon members or channel members. Like, subscribe, play some Xenoblade, and I'll catch you guys next time for more. Peace.